Matchday 32 in La Liga. EA Sports brought us the game between Sevilla and Deportivo Alaves at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. Sevilla were coming into this game looking to bounce back from 4 consecutive defeats, and it was also the first game in charge of Joaquín Caparrós, who has just replaced Xavier García Pimienta as Sevilla manager until the end of the season. Deportivo Alaves had the first chance of the game. Jon Guridi putting this effort just wide of the back post. A good ball in from the right-hand side. Deportivo Alaves came into this one off the back of a narrow 1-0 defeat at home against Real Madrid last weekend, but also in the bottom 3 as Las Palmas had won their game the day before. And Alaves needed to win to finish the weekend outside the drop zone. A draw was not going to be enough. Nemanja Gudel flew into this challenge on Nahuel Tenaglia quite early into the matchup, and for that he picked up the first yellow card of the game. A yellow card as well that means he will miss Sevilla's next game. There is obviously midweek La Liga action coming up, and in Sevilla's case, a trip away to El Sadar against Osasuna. Gudel will not be part of that matchup. Fortunately for Sevilla, though, they did score the opening goal with the first chance of the game, and it was also a first Sevilla goal for Peque Fernandez, a player with not as many minutes as he would have liked this season in La Liga EA Sports, his first season in the top flight, and yet his nickname is Peque, which means small, one of the smallest players on the pitch. He still managed to get in between both centre-halves and head the ball home. A lovely ball in from the right from Lucien Agumet. Peque scoring the first goal of this new Joaquín Caparrós era. A lovely finish to beat Antonio Sivera with that header from close range. Alaves, though, had the majority of the possession throughout the game and were pushing constantly to try and get back on level terms. Former Sevilla man Joan Jordan tried to get on the end of this ball played to the edge of the box. It was well blocked by his former teammate Nemanja Gudel. From that corner, Joan Jordan whipped the ball in, and the header went just wide of the back post. It was helped on by Facundo Garcés, who was making his first start in La Liga and his first start for Deportivo Alaves, only his 4th appearance in La Liga since joining the club in January. Quique García was captaining the side and leading the line for Alaves. He was almost picked out here with a good ball over the top from Antonio Blanco. But ultimately the effort, the second ball to Carlos Eleñá, would go wide of the target. Jon Guridi was then shown the first yellow card of the game for an Alaves player here for pushing over José Ángel Carmona, who was trying to break on the counter. No intention of winning the ball, and therefore a straight booking. Isaac Romero had the next chance for Sevilla, but he failed to find the back of the net to a good corner in from Dodi Luquebacchio. Isaac completely unmarked at the back post, but not scoring the goal. Who did score a goal was Quique García with the final touch of the first half. In stoppage time, a throw-in from the right-hand side from Nahuel Tenaglia was helped on by a brilliant back heel from Joan Jordan. And then it was fizzed across the penalty box by Carlos Vicente for Quique García to stab the ball into the back of the net, scoring his 12th La Liga goal of the season. This is now his joint best season in his La Liga career when it comes to goals scored. He'd scored 12 in the past for Eibar. That was his best season up until this point, now equaling that for Deportivo Alaves. Saúl was brought on at half-time. First change of the game made by Joaquín Caparrós. Came on to replace Chidera Ejuke. Early doors in the second half, Isaac Romero went down in the box asking for a penalty kick, claiming he'd been pulled to the ground. The referee, though, Miguel Ángel Ortiz Arias, was having none of it. This was while Moussa Diarra was receiving treatment on the sidelines for a shoulder injury. Alaves temporarily defending with 10 men. Joaquin Caparrós hardly sat down throughout the 90-plus minutes at the Ramon Sánchez Pizjuán. This is now his 4th stint as Sevilla manager throughout his long career. At the age of 69, over 500 top-flight games as a manager for 7 different clubs. Now back at Sevilla until the end of the season. Kike Garcia was looking for his 2nd midway through the 2nd half here. Hit first time, but no takers at the back post to try and help it on. Suso was then brought on for Sevilla, making only his 10th La Liga appearance of the campaign. Djibril Sow joined him on the pitch as well. Caparrós making it very clear ahead of the game that every player in the squad will have a chance to play and prove their worth. Dodi Lukebakio, who's done more than enough to prove his worth this season, was picked out here with a long ball and tried to run in behind to go around Antonio Sevilla. The Alaves goalkeeper timed his tackle superbly to send the ball out for a throw-in down by the corner flag and denied the Belgian the chance to maybe get a winner. Nervy moments at the back here for Loic Bade, who just slipped when tried to clear the ball, and he had to head it away whilst on the ground. Sevilla kept on pushing though. Suso cutting in off the right on his left foot here. His deflected cross was met by Saul. It went up and over the crossbar. From a corner minutes later, chance would drop for Adrià Pedrosa from outside the penalty area, but the former Espanyol left-back failed to hit the target by quite some margin. It's fair to say the clear-cut chances really did dry up in the second 45. Overall, here Carlos Martin, who came on for Alaves in the second period, tried to again find Joan Jordan, but it was ultimately a shot from Tomas Konechny, his first involvement, having just come on as a substitute, but straight at Oyan Nerland. Dodi Lukebakio was then brought down here by a heavy tackle from Tomas Konechny. That was before Suso tried to find his way through the Alaves back line, but failed to do so. Lukebakio left quite winded from this challenge. Joan Jordan was then replaced by Deportivo Alaves, and he received a big round of applause from both sets of supporters. Obviously, Joan Jordan having spent a large part of his career here at Sevilla. He was replaced by Ander Guevara. Minutes later, from a corner, Deportivo Alaves came close here through Carlos Martin to taking the lead. But he was just offside, Carlos Martin, so it wouldn't have counted anyway had he have found the back of the net. Very tight call, but still a good ball in, delivered to the back post. As either side were looking for a winner, Alaves really needing one, as we say, to get out to the bottom three. Juanlu and Manu Bueno were then brought on for Sevilla, replacing Carmona and Peque. And there were still chances to come in this game, mostly down the right-hand side. Juanlu, So and Suso combining well. Here, Dodi Lukebakio denied by a brilliant save from Antonio Sevilla. Nice ball across from Djibril Sow. Lukebakio denied his 12th goal of the season in La Liga EA Sports. He's been so clinical this term, but could not beat Sevilla to put Sevilla ahead. Sevilla did well to apply pressure in the final minutes of stoppage time. It was So again playing the ball across, this time Saul making the run from deep in midfield, but the former Atletico Madrid man unable to hit the target. Runs from midfield, causing trouble late on, So almost picking up Saul. Musa Diarra was then shown a late yellow card for Deportivo Alaves. Visitors who did keep on pushing, trying to get a late winner. Eduardo Coudet opting to not make all 5 of his changes to try and win it. Carlos Vicente, who had started the game on the right, cut in onto his left, but his shot was straight at Orjan Nerland. Nice run here, however, from Loic Badet, as he would pick out Saul, and it was then Juanlu's cross from the right. It was met by Saul again, but this time the header not anywhere near on target. Suso was booked late on for arguing with the referee as well. And there was a golden opportunity late on for Sevilla as Suso got to the ball ahead of Musa Diarra. Suso was then picked up by Juanlu just inside the box, and he shifted the ball well onto his left foot, his preferred left foot at that, and picked out the correct side of the goal, but put the shot just over the crossbar. It was a golden opportunity for Suso to win the game for Sevilla. He's had limited game time this season, brought back into the fold by Caparrós, and had the chance to win it back at the Ramón Sánchez-Pizjuán. Close to his first goal of the season, but the shot went begging over the bar. Ultimately, the points were shared at the Ramón Sánchez-Pizjuán as it ended 1-1 between Sevilla and Deportivo Alaves.